Alright, let's go ahead and get started with the building neural network model. We need to import here first of all the TensorFlow. So I do here import TensorFlow as TF. So this is a standard way to import TensorFlow, and generally TensorFlow is imported as TF, and then I write here from TensorFlow import Keras. Thereafter from TensorFlow dot Keras import sequential layer. So this sequential is in fact not any layer, it is just an API. So you need to come here at the Keras. Then in the Keras we have that sequential layer. Let me just show you that. It is somewhere here. Maybe it's not there. Yeah, it is here. So this sequential, this is not a layer. This is just a API. So sequential is kind of the API, or you can say it is just a container. And in this container, then we can add our other layers inside this sequential. So we get here a sequential. All right. Thereafter, from TensorFlow dot Keras dot layers. Now we are going to import few other layer. So let me just tell you here a few things. After doing this sequential, alright, if you see this TensorFlow, so in TensorFlow we had seen this example where there was a sequential API or a functional API. So this was sequential functional API. And inside this API, we had passed here, or this TensorFlow has passed there multiple layer. So first of all, they passed there a flattened layer. So this flattened layer will actually convert multi-dimensional data to the one-dimensional data, or it will convert multi-dimensional data in kind of the vector. And they have an input shape of the 28 cross 28. So this is input shape, but in our case we don't have this shape, we have just kind of the vector shape there. So we may not need this flattened layer, we can directly use the input layer. Thereafter they are using here dense layer and then dropout. So anyway, the dropout we will not be using. So dropout is a method to regularize your machine learning model or a deep learning model. Thereafter it has here tf.keras.layers, that's the dense layer. So that's how these things are built there. So for these we need to import here flatten layer, we need to import input layer, we need to import their dense layer. All these are actually sitting inside the layer. Alright, so for that you need to go back there in reference API, and then we need to get here these layers API. So inside these layer API we have many type of the layers there. Alright, so those layers we can directly call here. So the TensorFlow.Keras.layers import. Now I'm gonna import here flatten layer, then I import here dense layer. Thereafter I also import here input layer. Alright, so these three type of the layer I imported here. Thereafter for optimizer I also need to import here Adam optimizer. So from TensorFlow you need to write here from TensorFlow dot Keras dot optimizers import Adam optimizer. In previous lessons we had seen about the optimizers somewhere here. There were many type of the optimizers. So these are the many type of the optimizer. Out of these we are going to import here Adam optimizer. So we have imported here all the necessary deep learning methods or the deep learning APIs. Let's go ahead and run this cell. After running this cell, in the next lesson I'll show you how you can start building your model. Alright, I'll see you then.